What's up you guys, I'm the Anime Guru, and today I'll be bringing you my review for the amazing manga known as Dead Man Wonderland. And for those of you who haven't read the manga or seen the anime, worry not, this will be a spoiler-free review. I mean, aside from a few very minor spoilers that I'll give, which are basically necessary to explain the premise of the show. But yeah, this review will be virtually spoiler-free. So yeah, that being said, let's dive in. So basically, to properly envision the premise of Dead Man Wonderland, you have to put yourself in the main character Ganta's shoes. So imagine this, you're just chilling in class one day, talking happily with your Nakama, you got your childhood crush sitting to the right of you might have your best friend sitting to your left, and then all of a sudden a man in a red cloak just suddenly floats up a few stories and dismembers every single one of your friends. I mean, literally your entire class just got dismembered, disemboweled, you have your childhood crush's decapitated head just staring you right in the eyes, and there's just blood everywhere. How would you feel? I mean, honestly, I don't know whether I'd want to cry, scream, run away, call for help, hide. I don't know. But that's what the main character Ganta goes through in the very first chapter. And then he gets blamed for the murder of his class and thrown into this crazy prison known as Dead Man Wonderland, where you have to do all sorts of fucked up shit like running through mazes of deadly traps and torture devices in order to survive. And basically, the rest of the manga is about Ganta's fight for survival and unlocking the secrets of Dead Man Wonderland. And that's as far as I'll go on the premise because I don't want to spoil it. But yeah, that being said, I want to talk about the characters a bit. Now, for me, the characters of Dead Man Wonderland is personally my favorite part of the manga. And by far, my favorite character in the manga of Dead Man Wonderland is a girl known as Shiro. Now, Shiro is this albino, white-haired girl. She's got the white hair, the red eyes, and she wears this, like, kind of white and red bodysuit around. But the reason I love Shiro so much is because she just simply becomes the life of the manga. I mean, I don't know how many of you guys have seen Mirai Nikki, but she's pretty much the same thing as Gasai Yuno, but better in my opinion. I mean, she's just completely infatuated with the main character Ganta and cares nothing more than about his well-being. And I mean, she just protects him from harm, does it in a badass way. I don't know, you just can't bring yourself to not love the character. On that same note, Ganta's pretty much the same person as Yuki from Mirai Nikki, more or less. I mean, Ganta's that crybaby type of main character who's just really weak and relies on others way too much throughout the manga. Or at least in the beginning anyway. The difference between Ganta and Yuki though is that Ganta actually has a reason to be a bitch early on. I mean, you'll never hear me bash Ganta for being a bitch because for one, he's only in middle school at the beginning of the manga. I mean, if I watch all my friends die in such a cruel way right in front of my eyes, I'd probably have a shitty personality too. And pretty much every other relevant character gets so much character development throughout the manga, and you get so attached to them that you just can't help but to laugh when they laugh, feel their pain when you see their depressing backstories, and cry for them when they die. The overall rating I give Dead Man Wonderland is I give the story an 8, the characters a 10, and overall enjoyment a 9. Now, the reason for giving the story an 8 is twofold. The first thing that kind of bugged me about the story is later on in the manga, probably around like chapter 30-ish, they get to the forgery arc, and I'm not going to spoil it for those who haven't seen it, but for those of you who have seen it, I just kind of felt like the forgery arc kind of dragged on in a way. I just feel like not a lot was done. I just feel like it was all just like killing people, and I feel like the story didn't really progress, and I felt like it kind of just went really slowly in a way. The other thing that kind of bugged me about the story was probably the most crucial part of the entire manga, which was the ending. Now, for me guys, I feel like everything up until the ending was probably like a 9 out of 10. And some people liked the ending of Dead Man Wonderland, some people hated it. I'd say I'm kind of in the middle kind of, because it's not what I wanted. It's hard to explain without spoiling it. It's just not what I wanted to see. But I mean, don't get me wrong, it wasn't bad, it wasn't horrible. Like I've seen many mangas end horribly, but it's just not quite what I wanted to see. It wasn't really epic like the Code Geass ending, but it wasn't just horrible like the Neon Genesis Evangelion TV series ending. I mean, it's sort of in between for me, and honestly, I'd give the manga ending a 7 out of 10, and that's why I kind of brought down the rating for the story, kind of. But honestly, guys, don't let that discourage you. This is such a good fucking manga. It's just so good. It's a really fun manga to read. I mean, overall, Dead Man Wonderland's that kind of manga or anime that it's just so good that it's just heart-wrenching setting it down for the first time and just knowing that it's over. Like honestly, this is the manga that's getting me into manga. Like I'm gonna start reading a ton of manga because I've pretty much seen every good anime out there, at least I think. I mean, there's probably a few animes that I haven't seen yet, and honestly, if you guys know any really good animes, then suggest them to me. But I'm gonna really start reading a bunch of manga from now on. I might even go back and read the mangas for some of my favorite animes of all time. So yeah, but anyway guys, I'm the Anime Guru and I'm out. Peace.